There it is, couple seconds late, but who the heck cares? It's Wednesday. The Roadblock Removal Workshop for Speakers and Coaches. Ray Engen, your host. For the third consecutive week in a row, I have had a guest have to cancel for one thing or another. And they've all been, well, a couple of them have been bad things, but this one was a good thing with extra work that came up. So it's fantastic. Everybody's rescheduled. We're all coming on. But I had a couple requests this week. I've been going through some I don't know if you ever heard of that thing called what's it called? It's like sciatica. It's like this mind blasting, numbing pain that stops you from sitting, standing, working. I've been through that, so I'm a little bit of a hippie. I haven't like really done anything in days or anything. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to come on here and do this. If you'd like to come on with me, bring your medical problems with on here. Joinraylive.com. Let me put that up so you can all see it. And I had a couple requests this week about things to talk about and stuff to do. So I thought I'd come on right now and just start talking about these things. And it's joinraylive.com. There it is right there. Come on in. We're on live on Facebook, on LinkedIn, YouTube as well. Come on in, ask questions. This is kind of a free form thing. I posted something last week about that had a clip, which I love doing the clips and I love giving little pieces of that kind of stuff away. And I mentioned something called Hey Jim Marketing. And I thought maybe I'd explain that a little bit. Also, if you go on to LinkedIn and go find that piece, it does have a link to my calendar because I said I could take it and explain it one-on-one to you and show it how it works in your marketing and what you can do. But essentially, it's a must for any solopreneur that is trying to create a business. Because if you look at what businesses have done since the dawn of time, I created something called the Action Framework, which kind of explains what we do. It's what we do and who we do it for. And all you have to do is figure out what part of this process am I in. And you'll know exactly when you're writing something, when you're saying something to somebody, what part of it in. And the action stands for, the first part is what we do. We're either in the business of attracting clients to get them to turn and look and take a peek at us, connecting. So that's after they're attracted, then we have to get to talk to them and we draw them into our world. So they want to know more. We use curiosity, relevance, and specificity to do that. And then only then are we allowed to transform them. So attract, connect, transform is the actual work that you do with your clients. If you do a good job attracting and connecting, then you love doing the work with your clients and there's never a client in there. Now, who do you do it for or with? Individuals, organizations, and networks. So that's the Action Framework. I don't have big graphics up here today because it's kind of done on the fly and I'm really sitting on the couch battling the sciatica. But I started a new newsletter. We'll get back to Hey Jim Marketing in a second here. But I started a new newsletter and it's making sales fun. Basically, it's something that I think is something I truly, truly believe in. And I think that in order for you to succeed in this, if it's not fun to go out and bring people into your world, you're never going to have a successful business. And most speakers, for example, I think 2/3 of the speakers are in the first 5 years of their speaking career. And if you make it past 10 years, you are like a platypus. You're the oddball in the world. So be glad that if you've been out there for that long that you're doing it. Come on in here, talk about some of the different things that you do. But I think you need to be acceptably unusual and have a ton of fun doing it. It is so important that you do this. And that's part of what I'm talking about each week with my newsletter. It's off to a good start. I got 200 subscribers in the first week. That's pretty good. Let's go for another 200 this week and keep doing that, and we'll go up and up and up from there. But that's something I'm really looking forward to, and all the fun things that we do to create this world that we live in, that we get to enjoy, to watch people change their worlds around them. I feel extra fortunate this week to be able to sit on this couch and talk to you guys and talk about things that I know if you use them can go out there, can actually transform your business and make things come into you faster, quicker, easier, with higher pay. I've had several conversations the last week with clients that have created thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on things they were about to submit anyway, and raising the dollar amount of what you were going to charge versus what you are going to charge. I had a couple of those this week that have worked very, very successfully, and happy to do that for you as well. If you got something you're working on, come on in. We'll talk about it here live. Everybody, well, maybe not live on exactly what you're doing, because then somebody else might go in around you and get it, because that's kind of stuff I look at going, oh, look at that. There's a deal going over there. I wonder if it's anybody I know. And come from there, because everything is out there. Everything's sitting out there. There's abundance all over the world. So grab it, do it. Let's live it. But the concept of Hey Jim marketing is really rooted in my inability to hear a message from a mentor. And it's a message I've heard from several people that I've worked with, several mentors, and I've heard it put in different ways, and it never hit home. And that message is, you got to niche down. 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 And everybody that does this, everybody that coaches, everybody who's a speaker coach, by the way, also shout out to my latest client that is won District 101 Toastmasters, Yiming Pan. That is the third different person that I have coached to win the District 101 Toastmasters Championship in a row. So the last 4 contests that I've had contestants or entering include several, not just Toastmasters competitions, but the last 4 I'm 4-0. If you want to hop on that bandwagon, drop me a line on that. That's a whole different side from the Hey Jim marketing. But let's go back to Hey Jim marketing. Had to get a shout out there for the victor. When you work with people, whatever it is you do, whether you are a voice coach, whether you're a speaking coach, whether you're a sales coach, whether you're a life coach, wherever you're this coach, that coach, first of all, drop the word coach, become a consultant or a strategic work partner, whatever it is, because coach is commoditized. And you know that what you do helps everyone. I know that every single person that hangs with me over an extended period of time has their sales go up. And it's been that way since before I was a teenager. Little League sales, everything. You sold more candy bars when we hung out together. You did things that got you more places where you could sell things. Is it just me that does that? No, but I'm a catalyst that helps you do that, because I see the ways in, and I can show you how to see the ways in. And I know that anybody out there that sells, if you come to me and you talk to me for a while and we go over a few things, I'm going to find you different ways to sell that you haven't thought of before. So in my mind, I know I can help everyone. Well, guess what? If I try and help everyone, and I've tried to help everyone, and for a long time I would fail to do that. But the concept of Hey Jim marketing came to me in San Francisco on a street corner, and there was a guy who just started screaming at the top of his lungs at the whole crowd. And there are thousands of people standing on the street in San Francisco. And when this went on, nobody in the entire crowd turned and looked, because today's Wednesday at 11 o'clock Pacific time in San Francisco, there's somebody standing on a street corner yelling and screaming at people. And it happens every single day in San Francisco, and no one pays attention. But then I thought, what if he started with 2 words? Hey, Jim. If you stood on the street corner and said, hey, Jim, and then screamed the exact same thing that you were going to scream out before without those 2 words, here's what happens. Everybody in that crowd named Jim turns and looks. Anybody in that crowd whose name rhymes with Jim turns and looks. Anybody in that crowd who thinks that they know somebody named Jim turns and looks and sees if it's that Jim he's trying to talk to. Everybody thinks that Maybe you were mistook for somebody named Jim, and they're going to give you a coupon you should have got. You turn and look. Everybody else turns and looks because everybody else is turning and looking. So by asking for one person, you drew the attention of everybody. When you asked for everybody, you drew the attention of no one. And that's the beauty of niching down. It's not narrowing who you can help. You can help everyone. It's the attraction part of it. It's drawing the attention toward you. If you don't draw that attention toward you, let the customer assume that they can or can't use you. And if you ask for one person, I only help people named Jim. Well, my name's Jim Bob. Could you help me? Or Joe Bob or Jimmy Joe. It's not just Jim. Could you help? Well, yes, I can. Okay, great. But the only reason they asked, I help people who have bad left arms. Well, my right arm's bad. Couldn't you just turn around and help my right arm instead of my left? Yeah, I could. Okay, let's do that. So you're not narrowing anything, but because you narrow what the ask, people get curious because what you're saying is relevant. It's specific. Curiosity, relevance, specificity creates attraction. And by asking for the one thing, the one area, the one pain that isn't necessarily that person's pain, but it's parallel, it's close, it's touching, it's adjacent, they will say, can you bleed a little over into this and help me out too? And that's how you create this swell of interest in you. That's how you become acceptably unusual. The post today, my new newsletter, is about becoming acceptably unusual. And one of the people who replied on it says, oh my gosh, the advice I got before was to tone it down. When you tone it down, you become just like everyone else. And you become this sea of sameness. This, one of my favorite words, along with a morass of mediocrity. Morass, a whole lot of mediocrity is what it is. It's just fun to say. You don't want to wallow in this swirling vortex of simpleness. You want to stand out. And some ways that you can stand out is remove the jargon. So all that stuff I just said would not be in anything that I post usually because the words are too big. The shorter sentences you use, the shorter words you use, the more impact you have. You don't get paid per syllable. Don't use syllables. Use words of one sound. My dad used to drive me crazy. Let's talk in words of one sound. And it drove me nuts. And I didn't realize until years later that this is one of the most effective marketing things that you can do. The most followed people use the simplest language that everyone can understand. You don't lose people. The average reading ability in this country is 6th grade. It makes a message clear. This is not a political post. But I will tell you that one side's message is clear. The other side, I'm not quite sure what it is. And I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle. That's where most of us live. If you make your message clear and simple, people will fall over into your message, whether or not they like it. I hate to say that, but that's the way things is. So the next march is in the middle. If we can figure out how to monetize the middle, make money in the middle wins. That's our next goal, is bring this weird stuff on both sides and bring it in the middle so we can all live happily ever after. That's a whole nother post. Didn't mean to go there. Sorry about that. Let's go back. Hey Jim marketing. Simple things. Clear, curiosity, relevant, clarity, specificity, all these things. Simplify, amplify. All these simple words to make it bigger, better, faster, stronger, mightier. There's a past world champion of public speaking, Press Vasiliev, who won the year that I went to semifinals. He talks about speaking like Elvis Presley sings songs. Simple words, understood, easily conveyed. These are things that get across. Are you simplifying your marketing? Are you taking AI and making your piece to it? Don't spend years writing the same thing that you can now write in 10 minutes, but take the extra 10 minutes to write. My cats just attacked each other here. Should I squirt them? Is that going to lose more viewers if I had a little spray gun and squirted water at my cats? I don't know what it is about cats. They go nuts like 10 minutes every single day. And then they're, oh yeah, we like each other again. But then for 10 minutes, gone. All right. Maybe the 10-minute cat rule is something I have. I want to be the guy that my cats think I am at feeding time. All right. See what happens when I don't have a guest. I just squirrel off and I go to different things. But hey, Jim Marketing, it's comfortable human conversation. Comfortable human conversation. Everything you send is important to being a human to human conversation. It's not B2B, it's not B2C, it's H to H. It's human to human. That is so important. Make it conversational, make it real. When you send a message, when you send an email, when you're reaching out to people, what do you want them to do when you're done? And you have to be able to say that in your head in 10 words or less, or in one short, succinct sentence, one short, very impactful sentence that they know what to do. These are things that get yourself noticed. These are things that start the conversation. And I talk about the ick of sales because we all think, oh my God, I don't want to bother these people if I talk to them too much. Think about all the crap you get every single day. Most emails, 80% of emails are never even opened. They're not even opened. So if you send something you're not bothering, they just don't open it. They'll forget completely tomorrow. You can send them another one. That one probably won't get opened either. So what are you doing to create this curiosity, this relevance, this specificity, which grabs the opening, Humor is the biggest weapon, the biggest secret weapon that I know of. It creates instant rapport, likability, and trust. Sometimes you meet people who are magical, strangers out of nowhere. Wow, this person's amazing. What is it about that person that got you to lean in? Sometimes it's creepy, though. What's the difference between creepy and magical? And if somebody creeps you out, for example, a stranger come up to you and saying, can I ask you a question? All of you, even though I'm not there, when I said that, you kind of lean back and you tucked your chin right there. That's instant creep pose. That is the posture of creepiness. Whoa, okay. You pull away from the individual, you draw yourself farther away from the source of creep, and your chin tucks down because you're protecting the most vulnerable area of your body. Well, what's the absolute opposite of creep? Laughter. Humor creates instant rapport, likability, and trust. Because what happens when you laugh? You throw your head back, you actually expose the most vulnerable area of your body that you were protecting against the creep. So there's so many little things like that. What is it that makes somebody go, wow, tell me more about what you do? It's usually not the description of what people do. I'm an accountant. Well, what does that mean? What's the result of being an accountant? You know, on April 15th, when you have to pull out all that stuff and you tear your hair out and you do all these, tear your hair out. Okay. And you do all these things and you spend all this time and you obsess over it. I make it so you can go on vacation in April. Whoa. How do you do that? Well, let's talk. Okay. What is the result of what you do through your client's eyes with their wallet, not your wallet? What problem do you solve? What is the problem you're solving for? I've worked with so many great people over the years that have different ways to put this. And I think I just gave like 4 or 5 of them right there. But these are things, keeping it simple, talking to Jim. Hey, Jim, You're talking to one guy. You're trying to interest one person into your world. You're not trying to go viral. And if you look at what LinkedIn's doing now, LinkedIn is going after conversations versus virality. And that's what you should do in your business, unless you're a commodity, because then you want virality. But I'm not a commodity. I'm going to only work with certain people. There's a lot of you out there can say, hey, can I work with you? No, because you're not what I'm looking for in a client. You're not something, if you don't have a cat that interrupts live streams or do whatever. But these are things, looking for what you want, looking for who you want out there. These are things that are so, so important. We got someone out there, and we've got Jocelyn out there. Conversation's the key. Thanks for reminding me. Thank you, Jocelyn, out there. Nothing good happens outside of a conversation. That I don't know if that's the direct quote, but that's my paraphrasing of it that I got from David Newman of Do It Marketing. Nothing will happen to you in your business unless you have a conversation with a business. And actually, that's not a conversation with a business. It's a conversation with a person. So do you have to win over their AI to get into a H-to-H conversation? Maybe you do. Maybe you do. But maybe that's a skill set that becomes something that is very, very sellable in this day and age. Do you get around AI so you can talk to the person? Can you take AI and lead it to Ray I? There's the point right there. How do you get past the gates, past the barriers? It used to be one gatekeeper. Now it's a machine, right? It used to be a moat. This is the same problem we've had for years. Well, the king is in his castle. There's a moat there, and they've got oil they drop down on it. How do we get around that? They figured that out, right? Then big bosses had first they had secretaries, then they had executive assistants. And these are things that we obsessed with. Oh my God, I know how to get past the gatekeeper. Well, great, just go do it. If you want to sell that idea, then you're a person that can help people get around gatekeepers. I guarantee you the people that got around gatekeepers were the ones that seemed acceptably unusual to the gatekeeper. They thought that by taking what they did and bringing that to the boss, they would be seen higher in the boss's eyes. My least favorite of all, and this is 20 years ago. It's like, can I talk to Lloyd? Sure. Who may I say it's calling? Oh, it's personal. Great. I'm his personal assistant. It's right up my alley. Well, it's personal only to be talked with him. Great. I'm the only one that talks to him until I know it's personally enough something. And then we just go back and forth, and you'd see it would be like train wreck conversations. And how do you get around that? How do you win the trust? Because you have to have enough trust or have such an irresistible offer that is congruent with what you do that they're going to go, really, let's come on in, let's go. And there's no one right way to do it. Hey, Jim is my version of it because it applies you to one person. And it's a heck of a lot easier to win over one person than it is to win over an entire organization. Now, working with organizations, it takes longer. You're not going to have it happen overnight, but you can get in overnight. And you can beat the other 1,000 people that are following the process of getting in. How are you going around the organizational chart of how you start to work with this company? Well, you have to be an approved vendor. You have to do this. You have to do that. You blah, 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 blah. I wonder if the CEO could get me in any faster. I bet he could. I wonder how he'd do that. Let's see if I can find that way in. So when you look at obstacles in your way, because selling is not about selling. It's about removing the roadblocks from people who need to buy from you. And if you don't give people an opportunity to buy into what you do and how you present it and how you can make them a better, stronger, faster organization by what you do, by transforming their people, by taking their lives and making it better and easier for the boss, what you're doing is you're keeping money and time out of their executives' pockets. So what that is, by not letting them know how great you can be, you're being selfish. You are being selfish and you're keeping it to yourself, and you're actually slowing the progress of the world down. That's how you look at it rather than being, oh my God, I don't want to bother anybody with another email. This is the root. You have to believe that what you do is so unique, you can charge unique pricing. You have to believe that you are better, stronger, faster than most people who do it. Not all, most. And you have to believe that what you do makes people's lives better and easier. That's the key right there. And do those things, and things will treat you well. That's kind of the background of Hey Jim. Hey Jim marketing, how it works in practice. When we try to approach a business, we do what I call, it's either an uphill or a downhill conversation. Usually it's an uphill conversation. Oh, thank you so much for having me in here today. So giving me this time to present my business to your executives. It's a wonderful opportunity. You've done such a fantastic job building this company. I've already stopped listening. I just stopped listening to me say that right there. If you're a CEO and if you're a coach running your own business, you are the CEO of your own business. And actually, all of us are CEOs of our own life. When you go to hire somebody, do you want somebody that's super reverent to who you are and what you do? Or do you want somebody that is calm, confident, and in control of how they can make you better? Oh, I see what's wrong. Here's 5 things we can do to change it. Now, do you have to have a degree to know that? Nope. Do you have to have a certificate? Wow, that was a weird word. Certification that you are an approved coach? No. You have to have lived a life that can solve that problem. Now, my native genius is connecting. I connect with people faster, smoother, better than most people I know. And I've reverse engineered it so I can teach other people how to do it. So what does that mean? Does that mean I have a degree in it? Does that mean I've gone to school for it? Does that mean, well, in some ways I've gone to school for it. I spent 15 years doing stand-up in dive bars and had to stop bikers from playing pool, turn around and watch me. And I had 5 minutes to talk them into that. And I could do that. That was easy. I had to get a hold of people over the phone that didn't want to talk to me and buy stuff from me. And then teach other people how to do the same thing as a sales manager in a business sales capacity. And I could do that. That was easy. Those are certificates of life. Those are certificates of experience. So it doesn't matter the degree you have. It doesn't matter what you have. It's how effective you are in the end result that your client wants. And I'm confident I can teach it to just about anybody. We've taken things, we've taught shy people how to be charismatic. We've taught people that couldn't sell into how to sell. We've taught people that hated selling into loving selling. I've talked people that hated Bruce Springsteen into loving Bruce Springsteen. It's a question of removing the roadblocks that are getting in their way of liking you and wanting to buy from you. It's not about your sales techniques. It's about removing the obstacles, smoothing the glide that brings them into your world. And if you're interesting, and they will become interested. And the key there is the start. When you start with this, don't ever start as if you're a stranger. Start as if you're a friend, and talk to everybody as if you are talking to your best friend. Because when you act as if somebody's your best friend, guess what? They treat you as if you're a friend. As long as you don't ruin that trust, you can continue in that frame. And you will be a step and a half ahead of everybody else that's trying to be just like everybody else. Say, good morning, how are you today? No friend started a conversation with that ever. That was a really good friend of yours. They always had something more interesting to say than that. And if you think that person's a friend that starts that way, you don't know them well enough yet. Otherwise, they do that. Now, That's it. That's a bold statement, because what I want you to do, part of Hey Jim marketing, make bold statements. Remove every wishy-washy word. Take your sentences and make them into two sentences. Take every sentence, period. Make another one, period. Two sentences that are short are much more impactful than one long sentence. Take your last words, put them at the end of the sentence. At the end of every sentence, put the word of most importance, would be the way I should say that. Do that in your communications. Work on that. You're never going to get it perfect. But the more you work on that, the more memorable you are, the more the easier it is for you to catch these things. If you're out there and you do have questions, by the way, if you put them in the comments, I will see them. I'm the only person working the board right here, but thanks for jostling. A couple of Chad Betts has been on there. Adam, great to have you popping in a nice. I love this. Does this work on here? No, it doesn't. It's all in. Oh, yeah, it does. There we go. Little heart out to all of you guys. I love doing this. I love having you all y'all out here. And it's just fantastic. Where's that thing I want to get rid of? And I can't even find it. Oh, well, we'll just leave that up there. Moving on up. Julie Garrett's chimed in. Everybody's chimed. It's such a thing. If you have questions, and I'll see them, I'll get answers to it. But how to make selling fun it's on LinkedIn. It's on Facebook. This stuff, I take this and I clip it up, and that's where the genesis of this whole conversation started. I did a clip and it talked about Hey Jim marketing. There's some key parts of Hey Jim marketing. You focus on connecting, not closing. Because if I connect with you and I've got something great that I think works for you, and I tell you all about it, and then I say something along the lines of, hey, I'm starting this class next week. If you know anybody that could use something like this, please pass it along to them, and I'd be happy to have them come on. And I've got, I'm doing a beta testing whatever it is that you're doing to get new people in first to your new programs. Because 9 times out of 10 people, oh my God, I'm in. Where do I send the money? Because your friends support you. And the people that you know, like, and trust you, they're going to jump into your programs. So they're the easiest, best people to go to. They're the fastest way to fast revenue. Is that so? Work on connection, not closing. The other thing is if you can tell stories when you talk to somebody. Like I'm just talking today. I'm telling a few stories in here. But the average hour of a webinar, the average hour of a talk, is a London Business School study. If you talk for an hour, people remember 3% of it. If I put a shiny object, like if I had charts and graphs behind me, I use PowerPoint or something like that, it might go up 10 to 15%. If I tell you a story, some way that I got in, I went, I had a boss bet me that I could not build rapport with a customer without using their name. And this was back when I was a department retail manager at a company in the city, and we sold consumer electronics. And the head of the company came in and he was big about using people's names. And I told him I disagree, because to me it sounds kind of cheesy if you use their name. You don't have my permission to use my name that quickly. And he goes, really? I go, yeah. Can I show you how this works? And right then a customer walked in, and I walked this person around and talked this person through what they were looking for, what they wanted. And the only time I asked for the name is I got to the register and I said, by the way, let's get this stuff delivered for you. $8,000 later, we were delivering $8,000 worth of stuff to this person. That's when I learned their name, because I had built so much rapport and trust without their name. You don't need a name to build rapport. Dale Carnegie says, oh, it's the sweetest sound you can ever hear. Not to everybody. You don't need to use it. It is the tool. It's like it's part of your bat utility belt. It's like the shark repellent there. Sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't. Some people like it, some people don't. I will err on the side of not using it, because that's my personal choice. So you can build instant rapport with people. But going back to where I was talking to you before I squirreled off, 3% in an hour. Use PowerPoint, 10 to 15%, shiny object syndrome. tell stories, it goes up to 50%. People remember half the stories. If the stories have a point, very, very important. If the story is funny, the number goes almost to 70%. So you get a 20% point jump by using humor in your stories, which if you're only gaining half the attention with the story, that 20% extra jump, that is a 40% advantage over people who do it well without humor. So humor is your biggest advantage that you have. It's the biggest advantage you have. It's a secret weapon. A couple other things, and then we'll get out of here. People don't stop coming to you if they enjoy talking to you. Hey, Jim marketing revolves around connection and relationship. And it's not what I've heard with the relationship selling. It is connection. It's having fun. It is this relationship of joy versus relationship of business. And that is such a key thing. If you are a boss and you want to retain your staff, we're going through layoffs. You want to keep the best people, but with layoffs, there's jobs opening up everywhere. Well, there's a lot of people unemployed, but yeah, that means there's room for great people to go anywhere. So it's an opportunity for the talented people that can do things. And so bosses, if you want to be the destination that they go to once they lose their job, if they're great, they'll go, oh my God, I'd love to work there. If you come at work, all I did was put a smile on people's face every day. I had a 10% turnover rate in an industry that had 100% turnover. That's pretty good. And I didn't know what I did. What I realized later, I just put a smile on people's faces every day, and I gave them work to do, and I praised them when they did it, and I showed them how to remove the roadblocks from doing it better. I wanted to make them better than me at the job. And by doing that, they became better. They became very successful. I've had people come and tell me that later. I didn't really know I was doing it at the time. So I kind of lucked into it, but I reverse engineered it, and happy to teach it to you. So humor has faster trust building. Hey Jim marketing is based on building that trust quickly. So those are some key things of Hey Jim marketing. I just wanted to make this fun. I take this and I clip it. And so there'll be other clips. If you have questions about the clips that you see, if there's something that gets mentioned in the clip that you want explanation, well, I've had 3 weeks in a row where I've had guests that were fantastic guests. They're all coming back. So they're all going to be great. But it's like just cancellation. Next week, I got Lisa Kalman. So I'm excited for her. She's a whirlwind and of joy, and looking forward to that. But you never know when it's just gonna drop out, and I'll have this to do, and we'll answer any questions you have. So this is my gift from me to you. Wednesdays every week, I'm here doing this stuff. I hope you get something out of it. If I can give you one little tip that makes your life better and easier, this was well worth the time. It's great to be sitting on the couch talking to you, and my left-hand man Tucker over here is man of the thing, waiting for me to feed him. And so it's been a good day. Thanks, everybody. I will see you next week, and I will talk to you all later. Go there, subscribe to the new newsletter. Go to my YouTube channel, for gosh sakes. A lot of you have been lately. I've been getting hundreds and hundreds of people pouring into that thing. Subscribe. It'd be nice to have some more subscribers there. But yeah, rayengen.com is being worked on. I got to shout out to my wonderful intern Tabby's out there doing a amazing job getting people to look at it. But the YouTube stuff, there's 367 videos like this on YouTube that have different subjects, different topics. Most of them are shorts. I've kind of gone for the YouTube short thing. It's really a fantastic way to get your little snippets out there to create interest in you, because it's just that little turn of the head. It's like, it's when your cat hears the sound of the can opener. That's what you're looking for. That's the attraction thing. Attract, connect, then you can transform individuals, organizations, networks, the action framework. That's what every business is based on. We'll be back next week from the couch. This is my therapy. I'm on the couch, not you. Hopefully you get something out of this. I'll see y'all next time. And we are out of here. All right, everybody.